Hello, lovelies, and welcome to the relaunch stream for Some Anemones Are Blue. I am your host, Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer, and book scribbler. So we are getting the last of the first three of the Pagosa Cliffs Anemones relaunched right now, and yeah, so that's what we're doing. Sorry, I've left my copy somewhere. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and say, yay! Yes, we have finally got all three books out, and we are super happy about that because yeah, it's just been one of those things that just trying to get everything set up to I've done some editing. I've added in a few scenes that I had taken out. Um, I was just is that the file? And of course, you can hear the cat. The cat wants to talk. The cat says, "Hello, love me, human." And so that is just what it is doing right now because it's obnoxious. I have goodness, I've had a busy day, so I am a little flustered right now. Um, no, share. Why are you not sharing? What did I click? Why is it not sharing? Share image file. This image file. Okay. They've moved a few things around on StreamYard, and I am not quite used to it yet. So yes, Some Anemones Are Blue is relaunching. If you go to my Amazon page, you can get the first three of the Pagosa Stars series, Tarnished Stars, Blue Waters, and Blue Butterfly. Those are actually all free right now. You can go to my Amazon page and get and Blue Waters and Blue Butterflies are the parallel book to Some Anemones Are Blue. This is Millie's side of the story. Blue Water and Blue Butterflies are about Camille Wallace. So this is Millie and Katy, and you meet CSI Katy Housan also in Blue Water and Blue Butterflies. She is an old friend of Millie's, and she will be working with Sheriff Tank Tanner to try to solve what happened to Tiana Ballard. And that is the B plot for the Blue Water, Blue Butterfly story, besides Kyle Hightower and Camille Wallace's reunion, and they're reuniting to have a it's they're having a second chance romance, but it's the second chance romance with the person that they had their first chance romance with. So yeah, let's just put it that way. So I am going to read a little bit from this. Where am I? The blurb for Some Anemones Are Blue starts with a quote from Auntie Elizabeth. I have given you the wild anemone with its mythos, to shed tears and grieve over the loss of loved ones, while you fold your fragile petals around your soul when the rain comes. To come out of the storm, open your heart to the sun and hope again, to love as freely as the wind moves. You are an anemone too, Millie. Cake artist and baker Milli Haywood believed she had finally found happiness. The Wild Anemone Bakery is doing well. She is engaged to the man of her dreams, Mac Beale. Everything seems perfect, but when Mac's boat goes missing, everyone says he is dead, but her heart won't accept it. Working to keep her life moving forward without Mac is a struggle, while Millie prepares to surrogate carry a sibling for Emily and complete Mitch and Jackson's family. Danger is lurking in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. The wild anemone's newest baker, Laurette Mortem, is not who she pretends to be, and neither is Gilliam Beale, Mac's younger brother and doppelganger. Wait a minute. This is for Anemones in the Wind. This is for the next book. Where did I put that? I just started reading the wrong book. This is what happens when you have too many books. Anemones in the Wind. Where are some anemones are blue? I'm very sorry. I just realized I was reading halfway through that when it said Mac's boat disappeared. I realized, wait a minute, this is the next book. Okay, here we go. Wow, I am having a special day. I'm not having a good day. Hello, Shannon. Yes, I'm having a special day. Thank you for making friends with the like button. Okay. So no, Mac hasn't disappeared yet. That's in the next book. Spoiler. All right. Here we go. At least I put the right cover up. All right. Forgiving betrayal is easy compared to finding the courage to face the murderers who have held sway over her life since she was a child. Life in Pagosa Cliffs has never been more rewarding or dangerous for wedding cake artist and baker Milli Haywood, the owner of the Wild Anemone Bakery. Her only hope to protect little Emily from the monsters of her past is to join forces with an old friend, CSI Katy Housan. Deputy Lloyd McConnell wants to protect her, but Millie fears the violence of the Valtini Mafia and knows they will kill him, especially Donatello. Especially after Donatello has found Marnie's replacement among the divers of Pagosa High's Blue Wings team. The Valtinis are returning to Pagosa Cliffs, but Millie and Katy are determined to protect the Wild Anemone family if they survive. So Millie has teamed up with CSI Katy to try to figure out how they can trap the Valtini Mafia since Marnie's death, and now Donatello is looking for Marnie 2.0, which unfortunately he thinks he's found in a very, very unwilling Tiana Ballard. All right, let's see. Came across someone in the chat last week who was reading Ghost with Cats, and I'd like to, and I was like, I know that author. Oh, that's sweet. Yes, Ghost with Cats is one of my more popular series. I keep getting asked if I'm going to do a site, you know how I write parallel story tracks, if I'm going to do one about the Jinn and what they went through with the Elo. And I don't have time to write that yet. They had just started it, but someone else chimed in saying they'd read the same book and liked it. Oh, that's nice. Yes. I'm happy they were enjoying it. I know I need to make you merch. I need to make you like a coffee mug with all 3 covers on it. At some point, I've got to get my merch store up. I have got to get my merch store up. I really, really do. It is crazy. Let's see. I need to. How do I do this? participants. Well, I don't know. Okay, pick a number between 5 and 250. All right. But yeah, it's I am with the launch of the next book, I will be up to 40 titles. So yeah. I'm very, very happy that I was able to get these 3 books back so that I could do some rewriting in them, put in some scenes that I had pulled out, and be able to, like, I really like the new covers. I really like how this looks. I have a picture of the mountains from the Great Sand Dunes in the evenings. And I took a picture. I took the picture of the mountains that I have of the around the San Luis Valley. I took a picture of the Neowise Comet. And then I took a picture of some plastic blue anemones, and I like hodgepodge them together, layers, and I fed them through Leonardo AI. And after about a dozen different tries, I got like 4 or 5 viable images. It was really kind of hard to do because when you're using an AI as a filter, sometimes you get some really, really strange images. And that's what I was doing. I turn off the outside sources. Okay, I'm going to switch. I'm going to pull up the pictures. I'll show you the different images I got. I thought about merch for several years now. Yeah. It is so expensive to open a merch, to get all of the stuff that you need to set up a merch store. That sometimes you're just looking at it, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, I'm never going to, if I do this, I am never going to make any money. Okay. So this is one of the images. Oh, I want to make that bigger. Can I make that even bigger? Okay. I guess that's as big as it's going to get. So yeah, this is one of the images that came up with. This is one of them. And then it came up with the comet going in another direction, and you can see the Milky Way. But the mountains in this one, the mountains in the background disappeared. So I decided not to use that one. And this one also, I love the shooting star aspect of it because everybody's looking at. So that's something that Millie and Lloyd both do, is they watch for shooting stars. So I liked the way this looked like a shooting star. But again, I had the anemones here, but the mountains disappeared. And this one was really pretty, but I don't know why it put the flash of the shooting star in the middle of the shooting star instead of at the end. But this one was really, really close to what I wanted. And then this one became the book cover, because this looks like the mountains around the San Luis Valley with the anemones growing in if the San Luis Valley is where the Great Sand Dunes are located. So it's a very deserty kind of environment. And the mountains, and whether it's sunrise or sunset, you always get these beautiful, gorgeous vistas, because literally the valley the San Luis Valley is shaped like this, kind of like this. And so all the way around it, no matter which direction you look at from anywhere in the San Luis Valley, you're looking at mountains. And so that became my cover. And, but I named this one Some Anemones Are Blue because this was more about the police work and Millie helping Katy figure out how to track down the Valtini Mafia to not only protect Tiana, but protect baby Emily, because they start off thinking that baby Emily might be Donatello Valtini's baby, because Marnianne did work for the Valtini Mafia. But yeah, this one turned into the book cover, and I love the way the star, like, I just love this book cover. I really, really do. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, I've got a number 216. Yeah, it's really nice when you have the option when you're doing the book covers that you can actually turn off the using other people's artwork so that you are not encroaching on someone else's artistic license. Okay, so we need page 216. Why did it do that? 216. All right. Bill answered honestly, ending with, Donnie was always obsessed with Marnianne until her death. Then he became obsessed with replacing her. The Ballard girl looks a lot like Marnianne did at that age. Why hasn't he been arrested before? Tank asked calmly. He has. But he always intimidated the witnesses until they recanted or refused to testify or died under questionable circumstances. We have been on the trail of Donatello Valtini since we put Giovanni in prison, Bill assured him. Then why is Giovanni free if he went to prison for murder? Lloyd demanded. A corrupt judge ordered him released until the retrial after Katy lost her temper and punched Donnie while he was handcuffed in an interrogation room. Their lawyer claimed she had a vendetta against the family since her father was suspected of being killed by their father, and that she manipulated the evidence to get the conviction against Giovanni, Bill explained. She punched him while he was handcuffed? Tank was shocked. Katy seemed so professional, so by the book when it came to a crime scene, but in front of him was a sealed box that skirted the gray area of chain of custody. She had just come from the funeral of one of the victims, and honestly, I wish I had been the one to punch him, but I don't think I could have broken his jaw the way Katy did, Bill answered with a smug grin. Dang, Lloyd said, just as his Aunt Ruby, the dispatcher, poked her head in the door. Sheriff, Doreen Wallace just called. Katy Housan is awake and asking for you. All three men stood at once. Detective Harper, we are grateful for the evidence CSI Katy stored in a safe place, but do you mind taking it to the state lab in Castle? Tank asked. Not at all, Sheriff. Just tell Katy I'm taking care of it, and I'll see her soon. Bill shook their hands and thank you for keeping Millie safe, Deputy McConnell. They watched him leave. You okay, Lloyd? Tank asked as he pulled his jacket on. It all makes sense now. Why she wouldn't let Molly stay at the Anemone alone. Why she sent Elizabeth and Emily traveling with Mitch and Jackson. She didn't want anyone to get hurt if the Valtinis showed up in Pagosa Cliffs. I just wish she told us who she thought raped Tiana. Lloyd wondered why Millie hadn't told him at all. He wondered if he pushed her so far away she would withhold information from him, or she didn't trust him to do his job. Or perhaps she was trying to protect him from the men she knew were cop killers. The memory of her saying she was glad he was safe here surfaced suddenly. Yeah, Millie's always thought Lloyd was safe in Pagosa Cliffs. She doesn't know that even rural towns have issues. Hello, JC. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, I am happy to have these books back, and I'm happy to offer the first 3 of the Pagosa Stars series, including Blue Water and Blue Butterflies, which are the parallel to Summon Enemies Are Blue, for free today, because yeah, free books. We all need free ebooks. Everyone needs free ebooks right now. All the free ebooks for everyone. Shannon says hello. Chatting, wonderful day. Yes, yes. Hugs. I love that. Hello, Bethany. How is the Votasum Bethany doing today? How is your writing going? How is your publishing going? And please, if you have a wrench, please share your book links and stuff like that in my chat, because everybody should share their books as much as possible. I believe I have Bethany's Amazon page. I do have Bethany's Amazon page marked. Okay, there we go. And here's Bethany's page, since she does not have a wrench. There we go. Thank you very much. And let's see. JC, share your page. I am not pulling it up. I don't know why it's not pulling up. Here's Shannon's page. I know I have your book saved because I bought one of your books. Come on. I have an ebook copy of The Weight of Her. Why can I not find... Where are my links? Where are my links? Okay, here's JC's page. I have it here. Yes. Okay. So yeah, if you're watching this on the replay, please watch it with the chat on so that you can get the links to the other authors here. Because yes, yay, more books. All the books, all the amazing authors. You really need to read everything from all of these lovely ladies. Okay. Okay. Does anyone else want to hear any other of the stories, or would you like to hear part of the prologue for the book that catches you up for the last book? I'll let you decide. Okay, prologue. Okay, you want something lighter. Oh, I don't know if I have anything light in this book. Hold on. Okay, here is something light. Somehow Giovanni and Donatello Valtini knew where Millie lived and worked. They knew about Aunt Elizabeth and the Wild Anemone Bakery. They knew Millie had adopted Marnie's daughter. They also heard she had an on-again, off-again relationship with a local sheriff deputy whom Donnie mockingly taunted couldn't protect her. They knew her best friends, Mitch and Jackson, lived with her for 3 weeks after her son died, and Jackson ran her bakery for 2 months after her mother tried to kill her. It was like someone on in Pagosa Cliffs was keeping tabs on her for them, and it freaked her out. She didn't know who to trust anymore. Settling down in her seat, she put in her earbuds and pulled up her hoodie. The whole flight, Millie stared at the sky, getting lighter as the dawn chased them west, while her memories surrounded her with a darkness she feared she would never escape. She mulled over the details of her new nightmare until she dozed off. A few hours later, the plane landed, jolting her from her fitful sleep. Millie stood, struggling to get her carry-on bag out of the overhead, when a taller person reached above her to retrieve it. She turned to thank him and was caught in the shine of emerald eyes. Eyes she hadn't looked into since the day she almost drowned in Black Bear. "Thank you, Mac." She breathed out the words as much as she spoke them. His smile melted her like isomalt in water. "My pleasure. Anything for my damsel fair." Millie felt like her smile was going to split her face, but someone made a grumpy noise to get past them, so Mac stepped into the space between the seats. He towered over her, but not in a threatening way. It made her feel safe. "So, are you on your way home?" Mac couldn't believe his luck. A dozen trips back and forth to or through Colorado, and he had almost given up hope of ever seeing her again. For almost a year, her soft jade eyes haunted his dreams. She blushed prettily. I'm having lunch with a friend in Denver during my layover, then going home to Pagosa." His eyes widened in shock. "Pagosa? As in Pagosa Cliffs?" She nodded. "You know it?" He grinned, adding, "My boss bought some land there, the Kemper Dude Ranch. We're going to be building a resort if we can get the city and county's approval next month. I'm driving west to check an alternate site in case it falls through." Millie quickly dug into her bag and handed him one of her business cards. "When you get to Pagosa, stop in and see me. I'll give you a slice of cake on the house. I do still owe you for saving my life. What's your favorite flavor, Mac? I'll keep one made." He chuckled, admitting, "Actually, I'm a rhubarb pie kind of guy. Do you have pies?" Her eyes half-lidded as her voice dropped to a sultry tone. "Oh, I'm sure you'll like my pies, but my specialty is red velvet cake. One slice is all I need to bring you over to my side of the oven." A steward cleared his voice. They were the last on the plane. Max stepped back into the aisle and Millie stepped out, then turned, raised up on her toes, and gave him a quick peck on the cheek. "Thanks for saving me at the pool that day in the pool." She breathed the words against his cheek, then was gone, leaving behind the lingering smell of cake and sweet things. "Friend of yours, Mr. Beale?" the steward asked, amused, as Max stepped back to his seat to grab his carry-on. Cameron had been a flight attendant on at least 8 flights between New York and Denver, with Mac Beale as a passenger. Despite his wealth, the modest businessman always flew coach and tipped well for his drink service. "Not yet, Cameron, but I have hope." Matt glanced at the card and smiled, thinking it was going to be a good day. I love Mac and Billy. We love McKilly. And it looks like TDM is here. Hello, the Dramatic Mirror, my editor and co-writer hoverer, I guess. She's more of a reader than a writer, but yeah. Oh, yes. So much romance is in the air. So much romance. And if you read Blue Is it in Blue Water? No, it's in Blue Butterflies. Mac and Millie have a very romantic date. They go for dinner at the Arborea in Florida. And they are having dinner among the tropical plants and talking to each other, and it's so romantic. And then it kind of gets a little dramatic, and then it gets romantic again. And Mac is just, Millie is so afraid to love Mac, but they're so cute together, and he just adores her. Hello, Jenna. Welcome, welcome. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Everyone is saying hello. Yes, Mac Kelly. Yeah. Mac and Millie have fun. Let's see. Is the cookie? Actually, I will. I was going to read the cookie scene, but then I realized that the can of cookie scene is actually in the other book. Is actually in The Wild Anemone. Do you want to hear about the can of cookie scene? Hello. It's my bunny. How is my sweet girl? Let's see. All right. Anyway, I was just going to do a little short thing today, about 35 minutes, so I could say hi to everybody. Jenny is dying. Well, she did have to stab herself today with her migraine injection, so yes, it probably feels that way. All right, yes. You want the can of cookie scene? Oh, no, sweetheart. Do you want me to make you something and send Chris to come and get it for you? Do you want me to make you some food and send it over with Chris? So those are my, this is my middle. This is my youngest. So we have minions in the house. All right, the cookie scene. Let me go to The Wild Anemone. All right. There we go. Oh, you have the chili I made you. I have 2 servings of tuna casserole left from the tuna casserole that I made and sent to Lilani after her surgery. Do you want that? I can send that to you. All right. This is from The Wild Anemone, and Lloyd stopped at The Wild Anemone on his way home to check on Molly and Emily. Millie wasn't there. She had taken Elizabeth with her to New York to film some cake contest show. Molly declined to bring Emily to his house, preferring to stay in Millie's cottage so Emily could stay in her own room. Molly asked him to take their grandmother's treats to her, since he lived on the opposite side of the homestead from their grandparents. Starting the half-hour drive out to the Rocking M Ranch, Lloyd wondered what the real reason was Molly wanted to stay at the Wild Anemone and not with her kin at the Rocking M Ranch. It seemed Molly was pulling away from the entire family since Garrett's death. He knew Garrett had spent as much time at the ranch as she had at the sod farm in recent years, and thought about the reason he left for years. Places linked to memories turned too painful to bear. The cake and cookies on the seat next to him filled his truck with the smell of Millie's baking. He hadn't eaten since breakfast and was so hungry. He reached into the bakery bag and lifted the top of the box of cookies and pulled one out. The cookie smelled like apples, molasses, and spices. He shook his head, amused by the holiday green frosting. Miss Elizabeth had always been Christmas crazy, and he guessed it was rubbing off on Millie. The cookie was soft and tasted different from the ones she had given out for Halloween. Lloyd knew Millie and Elizabeth were making plans to decorate the wild anemone as soon as they got home from New York. They had already hired Carlo and Jorge to do the Christmas lights. Chewing a second cookie, he tried to figure out the flavor. He felt relaxed and happy as he ate the third one, swinging wide onto the drive up to the house. His head was starting to swim, but he shook it off as being overly tired. He went to work at 6 p.m. last night and was scheduled until noon today, but his shift ran over and it was nearly 4 p.m. He just finished munching on a fourth cookie when he parked in front of his grandparents' house. He observed the steering on his truck seemed a little loose, and he mildly wondered if perhaps his power steering or alignment needed checked. Opening his door, he stepped out with the bakery bag and almost fell down. Everything was spinning like he was drunk, but instead of being alarmed, he laughed. "Lloyd, honey, are you okay?" His grandmother was staring at him in shocked dismay. "Have you been drinking again?" He unsteadily staggered toward the porch. "No, Grandma. I was hungry. I ate 4 of your cookies, and I'm still hungry." "You ate 4 of my cookies?" Fern rushed down the porch and wrapped her thin arms around him, helping him up the steps. "Oh, Lloyd, how could you?" "I'm sorry I ate your cookies, Grandma Fern. I'll buy you more of Millie's cookies. They're so good, and she even frosted them green for Christmas." Slurring his words, he staggered and sagged against her. He just needed to sit down for a minute. "Humphrey Lloyd McConnell, you keep walking!" Grandma Fern ordered him, guiding him to the living room. She managed to get him on the couch before he collapsed and began rambling. "I love you, Grandma. I love Millie's cookies, and don't tell Millie, but I love her too. I really think I do, but I blew it. She only wants to be friends forever, and I'm never going to get to kiss her again because I thought she was fucking Jackson." "Lloyd, language!" she scolded as she dialed 911. "Sorry, Grandma." Lloyd looked remorseful before his eyes rolled back in his head. As he passed out, he heard his grandmother tell his Aunt Ruby, "Send an ambulance, Ruby. Lloyd overdosed." Lloyd opened his eyes slowly. His head was pounding, and his stomach felt like someone had punched him repeatedly. He had an IV and a heart monitor attached to his left arm. Feeling around, he hit the nurse call button and was surprised when Tank and his grandfather came in. "What happened?" Lloyd asked. His voice was weak, and his throat hurt like when he had his tonsils removed. "You had your stomach pumped, son," Dr. McConnell explained. "Deputy, all you have to do is ask for a day off instead of overdosing on cookies, even if they are Miss Millie's excellent cookies." Sheriff Tanner chuckled. Lloyd's head was still foggy. I don't understand. How could I overdose on cookies? Doc McConnell looked genuinely concerned. It's our fault, Lloyd. We asked Millie to make cookies for Fern while she was on chemo. Trying to sit up, Lloyd couldn't seem to find the strength. It was like he was too relaxed to move, and his mind too muddled to make sense of what his grandfather was saying. Turning toward his grandfather, he asked in an emotional voice, "What are you talking about? What was in those cookies? Why does Grandma need chemo?" "Easy, Lloyd. Fern is going to be fine. We caught it early, and she's in remission and only has one treatment left. Millie has been making medical cannabis cookies for her. We asked her not to tell you kids because we found out the day before Garrett died, and we didn't want to add to your woes." Dr. McConnell explained. "What happened to me?" Lloyd demanded. "I barely remember getting to the ranch." "You ate the equivalent of 16 adult doses of medical cannabis. The doctor pumped your stomach because it was so much. You're going to be sore for a few days." His grandfather's regret was genuine. "I'm sorry, but even though it was an accidental exposure, I still have to put you on leave for a week," Tank explained. Lloyd gave a curt nod. Part of him wanted to rage about it, but there was nothing he could do now. So he focused on getting answers because his grandfather had not completely answered his question. What was wrong with Grandma Fern? Okay. Yeah, that's what happens in The Wild Anemone when Lloyd accidentally eats Grandma Fern's chemo cookies. All right. All right. Yes, you can come and get it tomorrow. That's fine. That's fine. Yay, Cap's down. Yeah, he just wants to be loved, and he keeps like shooting himself in the foot. You've heard your sister rant about Lloyd. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Sarah, what is your hashtag for Lloyd? Hashtag Lloyd dies alone. Mm-hmm. All righty. And I guess this concludes the relaunch of This concludes the relaunch of the Pagosa Cliffs Anemones first trilogy about the Wild Anemone Bakery. And yeah, we've got these books back up. The next book launch is going to be Wind Over Pagosa in May. That will be the next Pagosa Cliffs book launch. And on June 1st, we will have the launch of Darkness of the Devourer, which will be the next Relic of Time Wars launch. And you can get the first 3 books of Pagosa Stars for free today. Yes, help yourself. Happy. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Shannon. Yes, I am more than happy to share my books. I need to start working on making the audiobooks because that needs to be a thing. I'm very, very happy that I'm able to get all of these in one place and to have them all done. And just, it has been a journey. Pagosa Cliffs was a journey, and to hopefully get the rest of them out this year and next year is going to be, it's going to be just emotional, because we've been writing these books for years and editing them for even more years. And now they're out. So Pagosa Cliffs and Anemones is now available. I hope that if any, and actually this one, you can actually start this one without having read the previous books. And Millie and Tank, and this is Millie and Katy, and then Tank and Camille are in the other two books. So let's see, where is that file? Remember, if you are out and doing things today, you can always stream Hoppers Unite, hop around on the tubes, and be sure to support all the fellow author tubers to get things done. And because we have got to support each other and all of this stuff, because honestly, it is chaos out there. And thanks for visiting my channel. Thanks for watching, and be blessed.